going to take you in with us to have a look at the warehouse. Come along.
Hey everyone, so we're here today with Gary from Up and Away. We're just going to be asking Gary a few questions about Up, just to give you a little bit more insight about the wholesalers. So can you introduce yourself and tell us a bit about what Up and Away is, please, Gary?
Hi, well, my name's Gary. I've been doing this balloon business for 30 plus years. Started in a garage. It was a whim when I saw I purchased a floating foil balloon at Chessington Zoo for my little daughter at the time, and we just got into the balloon industry as a street vendor to start with. That was hard work, really hard work, because you're sent out with a big bunch of balloons, which is getting caught by the wind and the rain, and only normally at the weekend, so it's a bit more of a challenge.
Because I don't know the history of Up anyway, so it's quite nice to know.
When we obviously first started, as I said, we were street vending, which was hard work. Decided to get into carnivals and fetes. Really loved it. But the problem with that, again, it was only ever a weekend, and if you're trying to earn a living, you can't just work 2 days a week.
Feasible, is it?
Was pretty much going to jack it all in. It wasn't for me. It was hard work. And back in the day, there was a company called Kite and Balloon Company over in South London, who we were purchasing from. And he said, "Oh, no, don't do that." He said, "I've just got this girl who's come back from the States. She's learned all this balloon training. We're setting up a course." So we went onto this course, and it was in a pub, upstairs room in a pub. Wasn't that salubrious. Went in there, and we were shown how to create a simple arch.
Like classics.
In other bits,
back then, wasn't it?
And loved it, because when I turn around, I've got this grotty room all of a sudden looking spectacular, and I'm like, oh, that's really good. Took that on board, come back, I was all enthusiastic. It's like, okay, this is what we're going to do, set up the thing. And we decided, okay, we're going to call ourselves something. There was obviously other competitors out there at the time, and we wanted a logo that replicated something. And back in the day when you was writing out quotes, back in the day, the logo, you didn't want it to take up the whole A4 sheet. So we was trying to work out a name, and then B, where we place the logo on the paper. So there was me and my ex-partner decided that we'd have an evening in, glass of wine, and just talk about names of Up and Away. Names for the balloon business. And we sat down all ready to have like a 2-hour stint, and my wife's gone, Up and Away. And it's like, that's too easy. So we sat there for the next 2 hours, going round and round, this name, that name, finding one better, and we couldn't. So we settled on Up and Away. Once we had a name, it was like, okay, now we need a logo to go with that. So we shopped around and went to a place in Southend who, back in the day, actually physically drew the logos out, because AI didn't exist and websites didn't exist.
Canva, I suppose, weren't about then either, was
no,
it?
And they showed us 3 or 4 images of designs, and I wish I'd have kept them all, which obviously I didn't. Chose the Up logo. So now we had our logo, and it was how we're going to push forward. And one of the things that we decided to do, and I think we were one of the first to do it, is actually, because there were people who sold balloons, and there were people who sold ribbon, there were people who sold gas, but nobody actually did everything in one place
together. Yeah.
So I believe we were the first ones to actually put everything under one roof as a balloon wholesaler. And back in the day, even the yellow pages didn't have a heading for balloons. There was no heading for balloons.
Yeah.
Nabas back in the day actually took that. Basically, the industry, Nabas existed, but again, there was no yellow pages, no heading for yellow pages. So Nabas actually challenged and took that forward to yellow pages to get a heading put in the Yellow Pages
Oh, right. Wow.
under balloons.
Yeah.
And then everybody then started to
Then
advertise
everyone jumps in the bandwagon. Yeah.
So that's how, I would say, that was definitely a plus point from the NABA's point of view, because they did actually sort of push the business forward in that
By
sense.
having it in the Yellow Pages.
Things have moved on somewhat.
Yeah. So what did the business look like when you first started compared to now?
Oh, when we first started, we were still, me and my ex-partner, we still had our day jobs. We were doing this as a sideline, if you like, trying to piece it together. So we was working from home, and basically an upstairs bedroom for the office, and we had a double garage. So that's where we started. Basically, very little stock, as everyone has to start somewhere. It was cold in there, so on a winter's day, you picked the bag of balloons up, and they were like rock solid. So that was, and we went out and we were decorating. So we went out and we did weddings and parties.
So you started off as doing decorating.
Oh yeah, definitely. We didn't go into wholesale for a while after that. I mean, we got to the point where we were running around on a Saturday, because again, back, it seems odd, but back in the day, everyone got married on a Saturday. You no midweek weddings, unless it was a registry office, or if it was on a Sunday, it was normally Indian or Jewish. So all the weddings and parties were on Saturday.
So you did a lot of weddings back then.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't do it today because of the traffic and the speed restrictions. But I say, 20 odd 30 years ago, we could do anything from 10 to I think the busiest weekend was probably about 14 weddings.
One weekend,
just on a Saturday. We were flying around everywhere.
Wow.
We had to be super organised.
But then I suppose back then the balloon decor wasn't
not as involved
no, as what it is now, is it?
It was Cloud9 decorations, balloon arrangements, pearl garlands. I mean, occasionally we did a sort of full canopy and that sort of thing. But that's where we cut our teeth. And as that market started to develop, it was like, okay, we can't do this. This is
too much.
How about we train people up to go out and do the weddings for us? And then when reality really, sunk home, and we decided that, if we train people up, what's to stop them from going out and doing it themselves? And rather than us get the work, they might as well get the work and get the money out of it. So that's where the wholesale side come in. It's like, we'll train them up, we'll supply them the balloons, they can get all the product from us, and they can go out and they can do the 14 weddings that we were doing each weekend.
And it still benefits you, because they're going to hopefully be getting the stock from you.
And that's how the industry evolved. I mean, there wasn't, there were very few balloon and party wholesalers.
Back then.
Other people jumped on the bandwagon. I think I can count on, well, in actual fact, less fingers than that, of balloon wholesalers who actually understand what they're selling. They don't just sell it, they understand it, because they were in at the beginning. Whereas other people come along and they sell balloons, but they don't really know what they do with them. If you come and ask a question, it's like, no, I don't know. So if you come here, you'll get that advice. You'll be like, oh, I'm trying to create something. It's like, oh, have you done this?
Plenty of times I've been in here and said, I need to create this, showed you a picture, and you pointed me and helped me out and in the right direction, even down to specific colours you help with if I can't find the colour I'm looking for.
I must admit, one thing, I'm not colourblind, so at least I can actually see the colours and know what complements. Because certain colours, they fight each other.
Because even like sometimes if somebody shows you a picture of a particular colour that they want, and it's like, especially now with all filters and stuff like that, it's hard to know exactly what colour that is, especially if it's a colour that you don't use very often yourself. And I know I can come down here and say, look, Gail, what colour is that? And you will even know probably what brand it is and exactly what colour it is. And if you haven't got it, you'll say this is the next best thing. And there's always something that is pretty much the same.
I mean, we don't stock every manufacturer. We can't. And the thing is, if you try to stock all of the manufacturers now, Yeah, they've got
There's
five.
too many,
They've got
isn't there?
5-inch, 12-inch, 16-inch,
Yeah.
24-inch, 36-inch. Apart from all of the different sizes of latex, most of the manufacturers now have at least sort of 30 plus colours.
Yeah. But then you've also got all the foils as well.
Yeah.
It's not just the latex, is it?
Well, with the latex, this is the problem where they took out phthalates and nitrosamines some years ago. The shelf life isn't so great. So 3 or 4 years, if you haven't sold them through in 3 or 4 years, they're in the bin. So if you have more selection, chances are that product's going to hang around a bit longer.
Yeah, you're going to get left with more
and then
stock.
when you go out on a job, it's not going to be as nice a balloon to work with.
Right. Yeah.
So we have narrowed down our choice of
but
balloons.
you have still got all
we
main.
we stock Sempertex, we stock Gemma, we set Decotex, and I've forgotten it now. Sempertex, Gemma, Decotex. I'm going to focus on those 3 items. So we have got some
The most popular ones.
Yeah.
What would you say is the most sold manufacturer?
Latex or foils?
Both.
I think what we sell more of, and this is obviously a hard one because obviously the other manufacturers will be listening.
We hope.
Yeah. I think Sempertex are edging it.
Yeah.
Sempertex. Sempertex seem to have taken on where Qualitex were.
Yes.
So yeah, but
Gemma quite close behind.
Gemma, they're not far behind at all.
And what about foils? Oak tree. I love oak tree.
The foils are I mean.
Or Grabbo's are good ones as well, aren't they?
Grabbo, oak tree, anagram. They all fit within that, and Party Deco. They all fit well when you put them into one environment.
Yeah.
They've all got their strengths and weaknesses. Anagram, their product range is phenomenal. Oak tree manufacturer in the UK, the only UK manufacturer, there's a plus point. When you stick balloons together and you want to stick bits to them, oak tree I find really well.
Really good. Yeah.
Party Deco, there can be when you're trying to stick things together, not quite as great as adding on product, but they do come up with some really nice designs. So again, plus and minuses. You have to look at it and work with it.
Yeah. What do you think are the most common mistakes that new balloon artists make?
I think the most common mistake a newbie has is that they want to impress. They've got the bug. They like it. They've probably bought something on eBay, created something, and someone's gone, "Oh, you've got a real talent for that. That looks wonderful." Common mistakes is that I believe that when they first come into the business, they've bought something on eBay or on Amazon. They've created something, and someone has said, "That looks wonderful. Why don't you? You've got a natural eye for it. Why don't you do this?" So they basically have got no idea what this should sell for. So they then start to sell cheap, and the first thing is they sell to all their friends, and everyone wants a deal.
Yeah.
So you're going to do stuff where you'll sell to your all your relatives and your close neighbours, and you haven't really earned the right money.
Yeah, I think this is what the biggest challenge is in the balloon industry at the moment, is the pricing.
Yeah, and it really depends where you are. I mean, you could be in a really salubrious area and you can get more money. You could be in a really sort of, I wouldn't say dodgy area, but an area with lower income, so therefore you've got to balance out what you can get, because there's no point in
you're not going to charge London prices if you're in a
so
downtrodden area.
And I think it's so hard. It's hard to actually implement But what you really need to say right at the beginning to all your friends, and they'd understand, is that, you know, this, I'm trying to do this as a business. Yes, I will do you a fantastic job. I can't do it half price. I can't do it for cost.
No.
I can knock 10% off.
You've got to start as you mean to go on, haven't you?
And then look around at, you know, people around you and look at what roughly they're charging, because if they're in business, they will, you know, they're probably charging the right sort of money. If they're not in business, they've gone out of business because they were charging the wrong money
to start with.
So you're not going to take over the world.
No.
You know, you can be, you know, the cheapest balloon person in the world, but someone from Scotland's not going to drive all the way down to Essex to pick it up. So look at your area, look at your little bubble, and people are, you know, where did Uber Eats come from?
Yeah.
I mean, 3 or 4 years ago, Uber Eats didn't exist.
Yeah. Right, so we're going to do a quick fire round, quick questions, answer honestly, as quickly as you can. Matte or chrome? Organic or structured?
I like structured.
Big installs or small luxury setups?
I like doing both. I get more joy out of doing something big, but you know, it's a bit more.
So you like doing smalls, Instagram or TikTok?
I don't even look at that. Does my chin look big in this? I look fat. I don't like the sound of my voice, so whatever we post up, I never look at.
Right, okay. One word to describe the balloon industry. One word.
Buoyant.
Buoyant. Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Gary, for your time today. And then what we'll do is we'll just go for a little walk around, if you're happy with us doing that.
Cool,
We'll film a little bit around the wholesalers so you can see a bit of the wholesalers. So up and away in Basildon. They do also do deliveries, so you can order online if you're not local. Go on the website. I'll put the link to the website in the caption. We'll walk you around, and I can honestly say I've been using Up for years, and they are my favourite wholesalers. So
and we supply helium.
Yes, they also. So do you still do air products as well, or you just box?
No, it's just BOC. But they've got plenty of depots up and down the UK, so you can collect from any depot. So if you're in Scotland, we can set it up. It's not a problem.
Brilliant.
All right.
Thank you so much, Gary.